Well,
better than no ears.
if you're asking me to go left ear, no, sir. I don't do left ears, and you may lay to that. He did say that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prost.
Yeah, Stella's nasty as fuck after Dell's Pale Ale, for sure.
Stella Artois is officially a bad beer.
Oh, yeah. I could have told you guys that.
I've had it before and liked it fine, but it's total nass after.
That shit sucks.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever had it. It's bad.
What was that I got at your friend Cray's show? I brought home. I think it was Heineken, but I was just getting cheap stuff because. And he was
Punta
like,
Gama.
he was just like, "What the fuck is? You bringing water to this house or something like that?" But he didn't have a German accent. He was like Croat or something.
Yeah, he's Bosnian.
Bosnian. That's right.
Yeah.
I like that dude though. Tell him I said hello next time you see
I
him.
will. They're expecting a baby soon.
Awesome. Oh, she was an Aussie. I remember his wife. She was an
Yeah.
Aussie. I've been listening to an Aussie podcast, and I've been trying to crack the code. I'm getting close, but I'm not quite there.
You sound a lot like... that's more like a Kiwi.
I know.
You sound a lot like Reese Darby.
I'm getting close.
Yeah, they're all like,
I'm
they're
getting
all
farther
like,
and
where's the
farther
car?
east. Yeah, I'm getting farther east, but I'm not quite till Australia. But I'll get there, mates. You may lay to that.
That's not a podcast. This is a podcast.
Foster's is a nasty beer.
I can't tell the difference between your Australian and your pirate.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's like an AC/DC type thing more than anything. Oi!
All the accents sound the same?
What are you talking about, mate?
All of AC/DC songs sound the same? Like your accents?
It's not true. Neither of those statements is true. Amazing. Everything you just said was wrong. All right. You about ready to get this podcast started, mate?
Yes, I am. Okay, I pulled up some AC/DC lyrics if we need them later.
I don't think we even need them pulled up.
I kind of need them pulled up when you know. I don't really know them off the top of my head.
No, I just pulled up a random one.
TNT Dynamite. I won the fight. I'm a power load. Watch me explode.
You know more than I do. They have a song called "Big Balls." It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. There's this. All right,
They've
Big
also
Balls
got a song called "She's Got Balls."
Some balls are held for pleasure, and no. Some what are the words? Some balls are held for.
We'll pull them up.
Yeah, some balls are held for valor, and some for fancy dress. But when they're held for pleasure,
some balls are held for charity.
Yeah.
Some balls
But
are
when they're
held for
pleasure,
charity,
those are the
and
balls.
some
I
for
like
fancy
this.
dress. My balls are always bouncing to the left and to the right. It's my belief that my big
favorite
balls
thing about
should be held every night.
the website genius.com. Have you ever used this website?
No.
It's like crowdsourced annotations of lyrics.
Oh, okay.
So here the first verse of Big Balls. Well, I'm rather upper class high society. God's gift to ballroom notoriety, and I always fill my ballroom. The event is never small. Let's see what the annotations are here. It's a setup for the later joke regarding the high society and dance events.
It's kind of like that Nate Dogg and Warren G.
Yeah.
Like the synopsis on Wikipedia.
Right. Here's the chorus. I've got big balls. They're such big balls, and they're dirty big balls. And he's got big balls, and she's got big balls. But we've got the biggest balls of them all. After the setup comes a chorus where the big balls, as in dance parties, are described in a way where it could also mean, and there's a picture here that says AC/DC, and then family jewels, and it's a pair of metal spheres on a chain. So I don't get it.
Well, some balls are held for charity and some for fancy dress, but when they're held for pleasure, that's the balls that I like best. That's a good line. I don't care if you hate AC/DC. That's poetry. You may lay to that. Let's get started with the podcast. All right.
Hi, welcome everybody. It's Book Club, the podcast, back again, and I'm here with my siblings. Introduce yourselves, guys.
I am Dylan Crowder, and I am here.
I'm Ansel Crowder, sitting across from Dylan. I'm also here.
All right, then they're both here. I'm marking you as present. Very good. And we're back. I think it's important that we say right off the bat that this is releasing Tuesday. This one's coming out Tuesday, so we're now releasing on Tuesdays, right?
This is our first Tuesday episode.
This is our first Tuesday episode. And boy, do we have a real clincher for you on this first Tuesday episode. Ansel, can you give us a little atmosphere accent?
Well, me hearties, Elijah chose for this week a gripping tale of suspense on the high seas, Treasure Island. It'll get your rum bottle emptied, and you may lay to that. Let me take it again.
All right, we're gonna try and get through this with as much of Ansel's pirate accent as I can get out of him, because that's just awesome. But yeah, we have a good old pirate story this week, and I've taken a few notes. Dylan, I think you said you have one note.
No, Ansel has one note.
I have one
Ansel
note.
I
has
have no notes. I was like a stowaway on the ride. I was just along for the.
You were just in the apple barrel as an observer,
right?
All right. Well, let's get it started off with the first impressions. A, I want to know if you've ever read it before, and then B, what your first impressions are. I'll give you a golden guinea for your impressions.
I hadn't read it before. I thought it was more for kids by the time that I would have, in my heyday of like reading, which is probably my 18th and 19th year on this earth. I thought I was too old for it, so I didn't touch Robert Louis Stevenson. A friend of mine told me, actually, you need to go back and read those. I was like, perhaps I will someday. And this is my first Robert Louis Stevenson book I've ever read. I liked it a lot. I thought it was it kept my interest the whole way, and yeah, I thought it was great. Good choice, Elijah.
Cool. Thank you, Dylan.
I will second those motions. I had never read it before, and I too enjoyed it a lot. I really think that this is how stories should be. It should be more about the story, the narrative, than any sort of symbolism. And I really enjoyed that. It was just an entertaining read.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it was awesome. I said I hadn't read it before. I have seen things like Muppet Treasure Island, and like it's kind of like we were talking about fantasy. The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings kind of informed all fantasy after that. Well, like all things pirate have kind of evolved from Treasure Island. And,
Yeah.
and I picked up on that the more I read it.
Yeah, that's what, going into it. Our mother told me, like when I told her what we were reading, she was like, "Yeah, it's going to seem like everything's cliche, but
It set the precedent.
yeah, that is like everything else is like sort of uses that as its frame of reference or whatever." So yeah, knowing that going into it, yeah,
Well, that's awesome. I'm thrilled to hear you both say that because I wasn't too sure you would like it. I've never read it before now, which is kind of funny because I think culturally osmosified. Like you said, you've seen the Muppet Treasure Island. I remember seeing several Treasure Islands.
Yeah, didn't Disney have one as well?
Yeah, there's a really old one too. But what's really funny is I don't recall any of them, to be honest.
yeah. I don't really
Yeah.
remember any of them, to be honest. I think I probably saw the Muppet Treasure Island, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. So reading it was really cool, and yeah, it's the whole treasure map and the bones and the very Goonies, all the stuff you got out of the Goonies was in this, and yeah, everything, good stuff. All right. Well, cool. Anybody want to start on anything? Just wild, random. What you want to start on? What you want to talk about first about
I
it?
suppose I could start with the one note that I took. Do you want to
That's a
start with
good
that?
idea. That's a good idea.
Just to get it, just so I can clear my schedule.
Yes, and then you're done. You can start speaking in the pirate voice for the rest of the episode.
Aye. You may lay to that. Speaking of which, actually, I'll read my quote first, and then I'll get to that. But okay, I got my one note here. This is where I guess they have an agreement where the good guys abandon the stockade, and part of the deal is like they let the mutineers have it. Part of the deal is that the doctor comes back to check on them to keep them from dying of their illnesses and wounds and whatnot, right? And so, so the doctor comes back, and one of the mutineers says, "Dick don't feel well, sir." And the doctor said, "Don't he? Well, step up here, Dick, and let me see your tongue." "No, I should be surprised if he did. The man's tongue is fit to frighten the French." And I was just like, that is a sick-ass burn, Robert Louis. That's pretty, like, it's francophobic. True. But that's pretty good. Like, your illness is so bad that even the French would be scared of it. That's nasty.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't you think so? Am I crazy?
No, it's
Sick burn, bro.
oh yeah, sick prank.
And that's all I got.
Dylan, you have no notes.
I have no notes. I am looking here in the book. Ansel was talking about how often Long John Silver said you can lay to that.
And
No, okay.
You may lay to that.
You may lay to that. We had a disagreement. Let's have I want to hear. That was my second thing that I wanted to get to. Have you already looked it up?
What?
How many times he said it?
I'm working on that.
Wait. Before you do that, I want estimates. Let's see who can get the closest.
I'll say 21.
21 times he said you may lay to
I'll
that.
say
Wait.
21 times.
Are these prices
Price is
right?
right? No.
rules?
It's like closest by
Closest.
absolute
Yeah,
value.
just closest, yeah.
I'm gonna say 10.
I'm going to say 21, and you
I'm
can
gonna
lay to that.
I'm going to say 75, and you may lay to that.
That's way too much.
No.
Long John Silver doesn't have that many lines in the book.
Bullshit.
No.
All right, he has. Okay, yeah, I way overestimated. He says it 19 times.
Ooh.
Good guess, Eli.
Do I win all the you may lays to that in the jar?
I think I've said it more times already now than he said it in the whole book. I guess I was.
No, I think it's very. It seems like he says it a lot more because every time he's in the book, he says it. True. He's really not that vocal.
Well, he's sporadically in the book. Like
Right.
really, like the first third, he's not really in it until after they, get the boat and everything, and then he's just a jolly old cook making them good fried fishies.
I think he only has a couple of lines then until the mutiny.
Right. And then then they separate, and he's in the opposing camp for a long time, and Jim's running around doing his thing. So yeah, he's probably only in like less than 50% of the book.
Mm.
One thing that I noticed reading this was that and it might have been a shortcoming on my part, was oftentimes I would get confused as far as like the layout of things and the setting, and I'm sure part of it is it was using a lot of nautical terms that I wasn't quite familiar with. But even when they like the battle in the stockade, like I had a hard time kind of visualizing like the way that actually went down, just because I kind of felt like they did a bad job of kind of painting that word picture.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder, like, did they have? I mean, this was written in like what? This is the 18th century type,
1880s, 1870s.
Did they have like I don't know. Did they have the technology to like print maps and stuff in books like they do now?
I believe so. Yeah.
There was a map on my copy. My copy was a digital rip of like some old library copy.
Yeah, all I'm saying is like I didn't look at my map when and like the illustrations and stuff, and maybe I should have. Maybe that would have helped with the orientation of where stuff was.
Well, I wanted to touch on that.
Dylan
said that right at the beginning, that this is what stories should be, focused on the narrative, and I was also going to bring up the battle at the, what did you call it, the stockade? I was the same way, and I kind of read military history for fun, and there were parts of it where I was just like,
sorry, go ahead.
and you may lay to that, but there were parts. Yeah, I mean that was kind of touch and go, and you would get lost in it. But the best part of that was, at least at the end of it, the doctor would tell you how many people were dead and who was dead, or Jim would tell you, the end result of it is this guy's dead now and he's not in the story anymore.
Yeah. It's like they were keeping score the whole time, and it was pretty cool.
Right.
Kind of
2-0. Woo. All right, cool.
I like the one thing I kept thinking about was, we were talking about when we read Lord of the Flies. We were talking about this is a seminal work of suspense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't hold up today, but here we have like another work of suspense that totally, absolutely does hold up, because it really was suspenseful for me.
Right.
Like I was on the, I paid for a whole seat, but I only used the edge of that seat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Is that kind of show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Aye.
All right. Couple of nautical terms that I'm sure you or people out there on the HMS listener might not be familiar with. And I looked them up because, yes, I'm a nerd. Foxle. FOC''S''LE. Did you guys look that up?
I did not look that up.
No, and that. No, I didn't. I did not look that up.
Here's a couple of examples of it. Never knew good come of it yet, the captain said to Dr. Livesey. Spoil foxel hands make devils. That's my belief. And then again, spoil foxel hands. Foxel, or I'm thinking I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a very bastardized. It's short for forecastle. And the forecastle is the front of the ship under the, I guess, the prow. Like, you have your naked mermaid on the front, and then under that is like cabins.
Right.
And the forecastle is basically the cabins for the hands of the ship, the workers of the ship. So when they say foxhole hands, they're speaking of your common...
the crew.
Yeah, your common crew. Yeah.
Deckhands and whatnot.
And if they're lazy, you spoil foxhole hands, then they'll end up cutting your throat, is basically what they're saying. You have to keep them busy, in another word. Cool, huh?
Well, see, like that's a whole nother filter that, like, it kind of passes through, because, like, these nautical terms have kind of like a language of their own, and then it gets passed through like the pirate filter, like the abbreviation and whatnot. Like if it had said forecastle, I could have figured that out.
Right.
But
Well, see, here's my thing. Like between the last episode and this episode, I turned 35 years old. So
hip hip
and
hip hip.
Hooray! Happy birthday!
Hooray.
To me. La la. Anyway, like I'm starting to like understand. Like there are certain things that I will never be able to do. It's like the jig is up. Like one of those things is like I'm never going to learn another language. It's English for me, and that's it. And you may lay to that. And then it's the parts of the boat I'm never going to like understand. Like I always get port and starboard and bow and stern, all that stuff. I always get it mixed up. And like all nautical terms, it's just like, to hell with it. I'm not even going to try, because I have tried to like remember what these things mean, and parts of a boat, parts of a church too, like the narpex and the Negatron and all that stuff in the church
doors and the people.
Yeah,
The Megatron.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like that's one of those things I was supposed to learn.
I can always remember port and starboard, and maybe this will help you.
Okay.
The word port and the word left both have the same number of letters.
But
No.
port is right, though, isn't it?
No,
Port is the right
port
side.
is left.
Port
See?
is left.
I don't know.
The bow is forward and the stern is behind you.
See, I feel like I would have gotten that.
You bow forward.
Port is left.
Port is left.
See, I thought this whole
Facing forward is on the left-hand side.
what is aft when you're going aft?
Aft is behind.
Aft is behind you.
From what position though? Behind what?
Aft
I
would
think
be the
it's
same
all
as
relative
stern.
to the ship.
Yeah, aft would be the same as stern. If you say it's aft of the mizzen mast, then you mean it's directly behind the mizzen mast going towards the stern. Now ask me what a mizzen mast is.
What's a mizzen mast?
No clue.
Well, I'm still impressed with you two, and you may lay to that.
Yeah, it's that's one of the issues I have with this book, is just kind of like it was very accessible, and you could kind of pick up what they were talking about in
Right.
general from context clues, and like you said, like after the dust settles, they did a good job of taking account of what all went down, but there was that barrier of the language that made it a little less accessible.
Agreed. And I also think though that nautical and that pirate language is basically one of the few things that provides scenery for the book. That really helps to put you in a certain historical time period that the story is being told in, because as you said, it's mostly narrative, and in that narrative, you're building scenes with the colorful language of the sailors and the pirates themselves. I have another note here. Silver himself saying in a kind of song, "Here's to ourselves and hold your luff, plenty of prizes and plenty of duff." And I couldn't help but think about Duff beer.
Yeah, I actually looked up Duff because I was like, wait a minute, isn't that a beer?
What does Duff
in
mean,
the
Ansel?
Simpsons universe. It's like a. It seemed I can't remember it. I think it's like an oatmeal or a pudding that they boiled in a piece of cloth or something like that. I did read that. I think that's what it is.
So it's like kind of like a porridge type.
Yeah, kind of like a porridge that you like tie it up in a cloth bag and you boil it and then you take it out. That's what Duff is.
See, I'm usually pretty good about, because while reading on my unspecified electronic reading device, it's really easy to like select a word and
Right.
get a definition of it. But I didn't do that at all in this book. That's partly on me, but it's partly because, I mean, I just kind of could use context clues. Like plenty of Duff was good. So
Right.
Yeah, Duff.
Right.
More Duff, the better.
it didn't really matter if it was like money or porridge.
Or beer. It could have been
Or-
beer.
or beer,
I
yeah.
actually thought it probably was beer, like a kind of like mead or something like that, like a word for basically beer. One term I did look up was keel hauling. Did you look up keel hauling?
I did not, but that's basically murdering, isn't it? Just running somebody through with a sword.
Well, no. Keel hauling, like, because when they found Black Dog in that town before they departed toward Treasure Island, Jim Hawkins says, "I noticed that guy. So it was Black Dog. He was at the Admiral Bimbo. And Long John Silver's like, what was he talking about? And Jim Hawkins was like, he's talking about keel hauling. And I was like, all right, I need to know. Like I always try to like guess what it might be before I look stuff up. I was like, okay, keel hauling, what might that be? And to me, I was thinking that's like an early form of like water skiing. There's like you tie something to the keel of a boat, which I do know that boat term. It's like the bottom fin type thing. Like you tie a rope to that and you're hauled, and it's sort of like.
Is that exactly what it is?
But keel hauling is actually no. It's the opposite. It's like almost like a torture, kind of like walking the plank, but instead of just jumping off, they throw you off and they like pull you like sort of across the boat underneath, like to the other side, and it's almost like it basically. If it doesn't kill you, you're lucky, kind of, but you're permanently like scarred and mangled from all the barnacles and shit on the boat. So it was just like, I mean, it was an actual thing that used to happen, and it was like, oh yeah, well yeah. Every time we read a book, it's just like, oh yeah, human beings are horrible, and maybe this book club isn't the best thing for my.
Well, I mean, you get the same thing, like, if you just go on Twitter for 15 minutes, like, human beings are
or
awful.
Even, even daytime TV or...
Yeah.
Yeah, Fox News.
You take a walk outside. Actually, that's not the case.
I think outside people are pretty cool. I like outside people.
No. Good. Well, now we know what keel hauling is. All right. We're not gonna get through this without a ton of pirate lingo, are we?
I think I've exhausted my pirate lingo.
Have you?
You may lay to that.
Aye.
Well, all right.
We can be talking like pirates on the rest of the episode.
Arr.
Arr.
Never said pirates weren't fun. Okay. I'm going to throw a little curveball in here now. You guys ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
All right. In every episode that I hold the conch in, I have the conch. We found it on the first island that we read about. I want to do a little something called Elijah's Media Minute. You guys each have 1 minute.
Do we need a theme song?
Elijah's Media Minute.
We just got one. All right. and what we're going to do is you have 1 minute to discuss anything, something good, something bad, whatever. Something in the media that is not book related. Not related to this book. Not related to any book. It has to be something outside of a book. Okay? You get 1 minute. You can make suggestions. You can use it to rail on something. Whatever you want to do. Media Minute begins now. Who's going to go first?
Dylan's going to go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
All right, hold on. Your minute begins now. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we do get, Ansel and I get like a 30-second rebuttal. All right,
Okay.
all right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
Right now, like as we're recording this, I'm kind of keeping an eye on Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He's a phenom out of Japan. He's currently pitching a no-hitter. Just started the 6th inning. He's already got 10 strikeouts. And he's also hit 3 home runs. They've called him the Japanese Babe Ruth. He's awesome. If you get a chance to watch Shohei Ohtani pitch and or hit, do it. It's awesome. How much time I got left?
The 30 seconds.
Dang.
Who else was like Babe Ruth?
He also plays for the
let him finish his
Angels,
minute.
which has Mike Trout, who is the best Major League Baseball player currently alive and playing. So that's my media minute. Watch some Angels baseball. They also have Andrelton Simmons, who is the best defensive shortstop I have ever seen in my life.
Ever.
Watch.
All right, minute's up.
Watch Angels.
My rebuttal was I kind of rolled the dice on Shohei Ohtani in our fantasy baseball league, and I got him as both pitcher and hitter. And you made the joke, got to catch them all. He's Japanese. I thought it was very good. And I actually like a bunch of like grade A players went on the market, and I got D. Gordon in exchange for Shohei Ohtani, the hitter, because I didn't think like he'd be that good. But that was a bad move.
And
Okay,
to be
30
fair, he
seconds
might
up.
still not be that good as a hitter.
Yeah.
But he's gotten off to a really
But
hot start.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's my rebuttal.
All right, 30-second. My 30-second rebuttal. You let go of Shohei Ohtani?
I still have him as a pitcher, thank the maker, but I let go of him as a hitter.
All right.
He's two players in fantasy baseball. He is Shohei Ohtani, open parentheses, pitcher, close parentheses.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, open parentheses, hitter, close parentheses.
All right. Well, that was my rebuttal. Good job, Don. I did not know he's pitching a no-hitter right now. That's freaking awesome. And my 30 seconds
and I
are
just
up.
made a comment to Dylan. The A's are getting their A's whipped right about now. You may lay to that.
You may lay to that. All right, Ansel, you ready for your minute?
Yeah,
All
I think
right,
so.
When you mark, set,
When
go.
when you said media minute, I thought you were talking about more like social media, things going on in the news.
That's fine. Whatever.
You know. My social media minute, I would like to devote to the fact that here's the deal. One of the things that I do that's like ever since I got a smartphone, I'm on social media. It's like I do Facebook and I do Instagram and I do Twitter most of all. Twitter's my favorite. I'm more of a producer I'm more of a consumer than a producer on all of these platforms. But I thought like I already spent way too much time with social media because it's almost like a nervous tick type thing. It's like I pull my phone out to check. Somebody sends me a text message, I read it, and then from there I do Twitter, Facebook, Instagram in that order. I was like, okay, I need to cut out social media. And then our brother Dylan,
No, time's up.
like he keeps like all right, Reddit. He's turned me on to Reddit. Now I got a fourth social media thing that I do, and it's Reddit. And it's
All right.
both of your faults.
Rebuttal, Dylan. 30 seconds, go.
Uninstall the apps from your phone, and then you want like if you can go to it when it's on. If it's a like the way you phrase it is like it's a problem for you. Don't have the apps on your phone. Make it so where you have to go to a computer to check Twitter, and it won't be a problem for you.
You don't understand my relationship with problems.
All right, good. And 3, 2, 1. Rebuttal's over. My rebuttal. Ansel, man, social media is bad for you, especially if you're a consumer more than a producer. Just produce and don't care if anybody sees it or not. I mean, because you put some funny stuff out there all the time. That's yeah.
Your tweets are
So
pretty dope. I will.
You can lay to that. You need to
can lay
produce
that.
more than you consume, and then I think you will find it's less of a problem.
Well, let's see. There's nobody. Yeah, nobody's following me though. That's the thing. Like if I had more
follow you.
followers, I would tweet more. But
I
Yeah,
think
all right.
I think you have to tweet more to get the followers.
see, that's the
All
thing.
right.
Like it's just it's a.
Just quick update here.
Does the road make the traffic, or does the traffic make the road? You know what I'm saying?
quick update here? Ohtani's through 6 no-hit innings.
Nice.
Just keeping y'all posted.
All right, my media minute starts now. I'm actually going to speak about a movie, a film, Blade Runner 2049. Seen it or not seen it?
We have both seen it.
Yeah, we saw
You've
it. We watched it
both
together,
seen
as
it.
a matter of fact.
Oh, crap, that thing is awesome. If you haven't seen Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, the Harrison Ford 1984, I think, movie, Blade Runner, it's based on a book, but we're not talking about books. This is Media Minute. Go watch that movie, and then watch immediately afterwards, without a bathroom break, Blade Runner 2049 in its entirety. What an awesome, awesome piece of cinematography. What a great movie. The storyline is awesome. The storyline is great, and there's actually one quote from that movie which inspired me to choose the book we're doing this week. So that's my minute is up. Rebuttal, Dylan.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I'm really excited. The director is also getting a shot at Dune, apparently. So I'm excited about that. You mentioned doing it without a bathroom break. That might be kind of hard to do because it is like 3 hours long. But I mean, it was totally worth it. There wasn't like a wasted scene or anything. I love that movie.
Cool. Dylan, or
My rebuttal.
Ansel, your rebuttal. Go.
My rebuttal, I liked the movie a lot. I thought it was great. I think there's 2 Harrison Ford movies in a row, though, where it's like, surprise, it's Harrison Ford from the old movie. And it's like they
It wasn't really a surprise, though. Like, that was kind of like in the ads and everything.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, they've exhausted that, or Harrison Ford's already exhausted those opportunities for himself, and I feel bad for him because he didn't.
Well, Indiana Jones 5 is apparently in the works.
Is it really?
No.
I've heard some rumblings.
Time's up.
There was a TV show called Young Indiana Jones.
Young
Do you
Indiana
remember
Jones
that?
Chronicles.
I vaguely
It was
remember,
awesome.
Yeah. Way back in the day, I was
Well, we can talk about that when we're not on the air, because that is the end of Elijah's Media Minute.
okay.
So in total, that takes there's 2 minutes per person in rebuttal. So technically,
Right.
it's 6 minutes. Should we rename it to Elijah's six minute media
Absolutely not.
manifesto? And how we gotta have the theme song.
Yeah,
to close
Ansel,
it out
got to
again.
close it out so we can get back to the book.
Elijah's Media Minute.
That's perfect. Thank
Very
you,
nice.
gentlemen. I hope that was as fun for you as it was for me. All right, cool. That's it. This is going to be an ongoing series. That's part 1 of a 7-part Elijah's Media Minute series, which will total 42 minutes when it's all said and done.
We'll compile it, and you can have
there
like
you
your
go.
own
holiday.
We'll have a
episode.
super
All
cut.
right.
Yeah. It'll be like a Patreon.
Yeah,
bonus.
Patreon exclusive. We're monetizing
Back
this
to the
bitch.
book.
Yeah.
Notes from Treasure Island. The quote that's in Blade Runner 2049 is when Harrison Ford walks out and catches Officer K at gunpoint and says, "You mightn't happen to have a piece of cheese about you now." No? Well, many's the long night I've dreamed of cheese. Toasted, mostly. I've got to admit, when he said that, and in the book he says Treasure Island, and he says, "Oh, the boy reads." I don't remember that ever being said in any of the Treasure Island films. I mean, we talked earlier about having seen Muppet Treasure Island and other treasure. I don't remember that. But the character that line attributed to is Ben.
The correct it's Treasures Island, kind of like attorneys general and
Treasures Island.
Runs batted in.
Very good. Very good. The character that says that is Ben Gunn. Ben Gunn is the sailor that has been abandoned on Treasure Island by Long John Silver and his crew earlier.
he was a player. Ben Gunn was a player.
He's a BDP for sure.
Definitely.
And that's what I'm getting to. That's the end of the book paints Ben Gunn as an idiot who has squandered all of the fortune that they did manage to come away from the island with. And I think the line, I didn't make the note, but the line even said, "to no one's surprise," because he was sort of aloof and simple. Or I found that character to be anything but aloof or simple because of this the
Well, I think
little boat.
It's kind of hinted at that he went a little crazy. Like he spent 3 years marooned
Yeah.
on an island.
Okay, crazy, but
But you know what? Is it really all that crazy to ask for cheese as like your one thing? Like I get that. That like
see-
spoke to me. It's like
It's kind of like someone on death row, their
See,
last
that's
meal.
what I'm getting
Like,
to. There's like so many open ends there. Dr. Livesey says he's going to take some Parmesan cheese to Ben Gunn, and we never get to see Ben Gunn eat the Parmesan cheese in the book. It never comes back to that.
well, I kind of took it that it actually happened. Like he gave him the Parmesan cheese in his
I'm
stuffed
sure
box.
it did.
And that's-
I'm sure it
that's-
did, but we didn't get to see him toast it and eat it.
I don't think he would have I don't think he would have had the patience to toast it. personally.
He actually like baked it into some crackers, and that's how like Cheez-Its were born.
No, there you go. There's an entire chapter that we're missing from this book. I did find it funny that Dr. Livesey says at the time the
Captain's
Parmesan.
wafers, Captain's wafers, Captain's wafers, Captain's wafers.
You have like half of a joke there. You
Yeah,
just
I know.
said Captain Wafers.
Yes.
over and over again.
Just keep yelling Captain's wafers. Very good. Very good. Dr. Livesey does say, though, that the Parmesan is a very nutritious cheese and that Ben Gunn will appreciate a very nutritious cheese. And I got to thinking, I've never seen Parmesan shaken out of a tube as very nutritious.
Well, no, he had that whole block joint. That he had the good stuff. It wasn't that powdered sawdust crap.
But even still, like that. I mean, leeches were good back then.
Yeah, and even Dr. Livesey said that like it smelled like fever or something. Like and talking about the island, like the kind of like marshy. And I get that, you know, a lot of them came down with malaria, but there was a lot of pseudoscience there. I wouldn't trust Dr. Livesey today to see to my humors.
How are your humors?
Oh, it's good. I've been drinking a ton of mercury, so we're good to go.
All right. I'm about out of notes on the book. And I know we've got some more to go, but I mean, I'm a lot like you, Dylan. I just kind of got caught up in the ride.
Right, and
the
I think
story
that's
of
like
young Jim Hawkins is just awesome.
it was a good book. I liked it a lot.
I think that's the best thing that you can say about this book is that it was just fun to read. It's a
Absolutely.
fun story, and that's why it's been adapted by, you know, Jim Henson and Disney and all the other entities that have co-opted the story. And yeah, it's just it's a very good adventure.
Yeah, agreed. Ansel,
One thing
go ahead.
I want to add.
Go for it.
Did it ever explicitly state how old Jim Hawkins was?
I got the impression he was like 12.
12,
but I don't know.
12 to 13.
I was thinking young teenager. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but that's just kind of what I thought.
Well, I mean, it just kind of goes to show, like, this guy's like single-handedly stealing ships.
Yeah.
Millennials today, you couldn't pull them off their iPods long enough for them to steal a ship.
You're a millennial mutineer because you're.
Well, see, I put some thought into this. I put a lot of thought, and I'm officially no longer a millennial.
All right.
And I
Dylan.
never
All
was.
right. No.
I
said
never-
you weren't.
I never
I
was.
said you weren't. The first episode, I said, no, you're not a millennial.
I had forgotten that I am, in fact, a willennial. Getting jiggy with it. No. So, yeah, I'm off the millennial boat. I'm now... We are firmly entrenched in the willennium.
You don't get to pick your generation. I'm sorry. That's not something you get to do.
I didn't pick... Like,
There are
Will
only
Smith
two
did
generations.
It. Will Smith did it.
Huh?
I didn't pick it. Will Smith set the tone for the entire
Okay.
culture back in 1999 with Big Willie style.
Okay, whatever. I think I'm technically a millennial. I didn't know this until somebody told me. Dear friend of ours.
Yeah, you're like on the very back end of the
Yeah.
millennial scale. But like I feel like I have absolutely nothing in common with like the younger end of the millennial.
But any millennial would say that, though. That's the thing. That's
No, they wouldn't say that. They would Snapchat it.
Anyway, I liked the book a lot. I think he was 12 years old. The one thing, he was unrealistically brave, I think. That was the one thing that I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was getting at. I was having
Yeah.
a joke. I mainly wanted to talk about Big Willie style.
Yeah.
Also, Wild Wild West is a fantastic film. Next time for Elijah's Media Minute, we'll get into the Wild Wild West.
Have you seen that? I think I've actually seen it.
I've seen it multiple times. No joke, I've seen it multiple
once.
times.
Wow. Why have you seen it multiple times?
It comes on. It would
comes
come
on
on TNT
TNT.
sometimes. Yes,
How did I know that?
and like I can't tear my eyes away. Like
That's the most steampunk channel is TNT.
Car crash. All right. Anyone want to add anything up for the book?
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about it other than that I really enjoyed it, and it more than most books I read, it just kept my interest the whole way. Like I never was like, get on with it, mate. You know, I was just like, hey, this is gripping and interesting and cool. I didn't think I had the attention span for it anymore, but I do. It's just most stuff is boring to me now.
It's we were never assigned this as kids in school, but like this is exactly the kind of thing that should be assigned to children in school to kind of get them interested in reading stories. And I'm sure it is in some. I'm sure it is in some, but it wasn't in ours, and I think it should be kind of more commonplace.
Yeah, I wish I'd read this. This would have been like if I'd read this when I was like 14, I'd been like, dude.
I mean, even
I'd have had like T-shirts that said Treasure Island and stuff on it.
Like aside from the nautical language and the pirate tongue of the nautical language kind of being a bit of a language barrier. Like I could have probably read this book when I was like 10.
Yeah, so I think I would have had to have been a young teenager to understand it. Maybe not, but I don't know. I did read Jurassic Park when I was like in
such a good book.
6th grade, I think. How old are you in 6th grade? That's probably how old I would need to have been to understand Treasure Island.
Yeah.
How old are you in 6th grade? 12?
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about Jim Hawkins' age, which is probably
I don't know,
the point.
This really spoke to the 12, 13-year-old Elijah. It really did. And I don't know, adventure-wise, it was just, like you said, gripping and really, really fun. And you always kind of knew that little old young Jim Hawkins was going to come out smelling like roses no matter what. So, like, when he goes off daring and dashing and stealing a pirate ship, you kind of like...
he had a little plot armor, I think is the expression.
Yeah.
He had a bit of plot armor, even though I don't know, there's not a Treasure Island
Well,
too,
when he's the narrator.
Yeah, I knew that like he wasn't
yet. When he's not the narrator, Dr. Livesey is the narrator. So you kind of know that those two are going to come out of it.
So I don't remember, Elijah. Did you say you'd read this before or no?
No. It's the first time I've read it.
Okay.
But here's my final question on the book.
Okay.
Long John Silver escapes and takes a few hundred guineas, and they're happy to be rid of him so cheaply.
A few thousand, I believe.
A few thousand guineas. Yay or nay? Would you have ended the book with Long John Silver's escape?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Just because he's kind of he's a scoundrel. He's kind of like that Han Solo character. He's a scoundrel.
He's a nuanced villain. Yeah,
right.
You can kind of relate to him, and you sympathize a little bit, I think.
Speaking of nuanced villains, Marcus Simeon just hit a single off of Shohei Ohtani in the top of the 7th.
There it goes.
So that's
it's not, I've been watching on the TV, and it has
a little bit behind.
Yeah, it's a delay. So.
It's all told, it's 6 1/3 innings from Shohei with 1 hit allowed.
Quality start.
That is a quality start, as long as he doesn't give up more than 3 runs coming up here.
True that.
All right, Ansel. I'm about to hand over the conch to Dylan to get us started for next time. But I have a special request before I do so.
Sure.
I want you to look up some lyrics and read them for us.
From which?
I have a specific song.
Oh, okay.
That it'd be better if you read it.
Okay. Which lyrics would you like for me to look up?
This is an AC/DC song called Love Hungry Man.
I'm not familiar with this song.
You will be.
So, like, I have no idea what the music and
No.
the tone and the delivery is going to be like.
I think you can kind of figure it out.
It's a Bon Scott joint.
What the hell does that mean?
Bon Scott. He was the original singer, and he died from partying too hard, I think.
Okay.
They replaced him with Brian somebody. I don't know. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
You want me to read it? Or do you want me to act it out? Or do you want me
read
to
it, man?
Do you want me to sing it?
No.
Okay.
This is not that kind of show.
Ah, you're the one I've waited for. I need your love more and more. I don't know what your name is. I don't know what your game is. I want to take you tonight. Animal appetite. Because I'm a love-hungry man. Yeah, I'm a love-hungry man. Don't want no conversation. I need sweet sensation. And all I want to do is make a meal out of you. Because I'm a love-hungry man. I got to get what I can. Yeah, I'm a love-hungry man. I'm telling you. Yes, I am. Whoa, I'm your love-hungry man. Oh, baby, you're such a treat. Love-hungry man. And you know a man's got to eat. I'm a love-hungry man. You're the one I've waited for. Oh, yes, you are.
Okay.
I'm a love-hungry man. Let me finish. I need your loving more and more. Yeah, I do. Chorus 3 times. So let me go back to the chorus. Because I'm a love-hungry man. I got to get what I can. Yeah, I'm a love-hungry man. I'm telling you, yes, I am. Because I'm a love-hungry man. I got to get what I can. Yes, I'm a love-hungry man. I'm telling you, yes, I am. Because I'm a love-hungry man. I got to get what I can. Yeah, I'm a love-hungry man. I'm telling you, yes, I am. The outro. And give me one for the road, and I'll carry your load. I'm your man. Yes, I am. Your man's got to eat, baby. Bon appetit. I'm your love-hungry man.
That is thank you, Ansel.
Thank you, Ansel.
Guys, I just had a fantastic idea.
Okay.
Say hello to your next hit TV game show, AC/DC or Kiss. Because, like, honestly, Elijah, if you hadn't said that was an AC/DC song, I would not have been able to differentiate. So can we try this live? Do a little test episode,
Like right now?
Hold
yeah.
on.
Okay.
All right, Ansel and Dylan, you're playing.
Like,
I'm going to find some lyrics, and you're going to tell me if it's Kiss.
I got one right here. Is this AC/DC or is it Kiss?
okay.
TNT. Dynamite.
Okay. Get in that back catalog.
Get a deep cut.
We all know that that's
Okay, yeah, it was a joke. All right. Kiss lyrics. .com. I winked. You didn't see it, Elijah, but I winked. You don't know if it's kisslyrics.com or
I'm not going to
AC/DC
cheat, I
lyrics.
promise.
All right, here we go. Is this AC/DC or is it Kiss? In the beginning, back in 1955, man didn't know about rock and roll show and all that jive.
Buzz Kiss.
Is that your final answer?
Do I get bonus points for buzzing in early?
Yes.
I'm gonna say that's Kiss.
Hey, I didn't get a
AC/DC,
chance
you
to
fool.
answer.
Is it? Yes.
Oh, I lose all my money.
How does this game work? Because that was not cool.
You didn't know you could buzz in,
You
loser.
got to buzz in.
Oh, no one gave me a buzzer.
All right, let me try Kiss lyrics.com.
Buzz.
You must be 18 years or older to enter kisslyrics.com. Enter your birth date. Okay, this one. You can dance through the night, rock and roll music, itching to fight, making love, drunk or stoned, looking for dollar, get broken
Buzz.
boned. All
That's
right.
AC/DC.
Do you know this song?
No.
You're correct. It is AC/DC.
See, I would have said Kiss again. Like that's a very good game.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, Dylan.
Yeah.
We will have to revisit that in the future.
But it's only good if, like, you know.
If you don't know,
Yeah, if you don't have all those, like,
yeah.
If you're not a Kiss or an AC/DC.
8
fan,
tracks,
right.
like, still. Anyway.
I like it. That could be a good recurring segment. Kiss or AC/DC
Noted.
for when we need to fill an episode.
I guess I'll be the host of Is It AC/DC or Kiss? So you guys.
You're really good at reading the lyrics.
All right. So you guys are prohibited from.
You can put the stank on it real
Okay.
good.
You guys are not allowed to listen to AC/DC or Kiss until we've played this game all the way
Darn
through.
it. Okay.
Right?
Agreed. I'll try.
Okay.
I'll do my best. Well, all right. I think that kind of wraps us up for Treasure Island. I'm gonna slide this here big old heavy.
We found that booty. We found that podcast gold and just kind of dug it out of the ground and delivered it to you.
I'll tell you what we didn't do, though. We didn't do ratings.
Oh,
so you can hold on to the
we
conch.
forgot the ratings.
We got to rate this.
I am not ready for ratings.
Hearty.
That's good. I think the best ratings come when you're not ready for the ratings. Then it kind of, the creative juices just kind of rise
That's
from the
gross.
ether.
All right, who's going first?
I'll go first. I like this book a lot. I'm going to give it 2 hooks up. That's the 2 hooks up. That's the highest rating that a pirate with no hands can give a book.
That's very good.
So that's what Treasure Island gets.
2 hooks up.
2 hooks up.
Yeah, that's very
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
I've got mine ready. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 hobbits. Because it's not quite the greatest adventure. But it's close. It's close to being the greatest adventure.
Is what lies ahead. Was
That's
that the Hobbit or the
Hobbit,
Lord of the
man.
Rings? Are you sure that's the Hobbit?
Yeah, it's the Hobbit.
Moon letters.
Ooh.
See,
Barrel Rider.
Barrel Rider.
all right. My rating. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 Cheez-Its.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Captain's wafers.
Parmesan
Captain's wafers.
Captain's wafers.
Cheez-It Rider. All right.
Okay.
5
Good,
out of
I can do
5.
that.
5 out of 5 Parmesan Cheez-Its is what I give Robert Louis Stevenson. And it's worth mentioning, if you've never read into the life of Robert Louis Stevenson and where he's buried, that's some interesting stuff too that we did not even graze. Get out there on your Wikipedia.
Can we raise it
horse.
real quick? Because I'm interested.
I do kind of want to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
No,
I
you.
was saying you
Oh,
go ahead.
tell us about
I want to graze on that.
Apparently, he was very sickly
pirate?
and weak, and couldn't stand the Scottish and the English weather, like the damp, and eventually ended up just buying a boat with his wife and going out into the Pacific and island hopping on his own, and became good friends with the King of Hawaii, and then moved on further out towards. Oh crap! I just read it a while ago. I can't remember the name of the Samoan Islands, and he actually died and is buried there, and was so revered by the locals on this one Samoan island that the inscription on his tombstone was translated and is one of their most sacred songs now. Interesting guy. He was there for the what's known as the Battle of Samoa or something like that, where bunch of German and American ships were fighting for 4 days until they got blown away by a hurricane. Yeah,
Wow.
It's just chock full of interesting stuff. He comes from a family of lighthouse builders who were quite upset that he decided to write.
It sounds like the life that Jimmy Buffett wishes that he had.
Right.
He's like 200 years too late.
Yeah.
Because cannons don't thunder. There's nothing to plunder.
Okay, is it AC/DC, Kiss, or Jimmy
Or
Buffett?
Jimmy Buffett.
It's great. I was thinking there should be a third option, and that's definitely it.
No, that does sound like it might be the pretty close to the greatest adventure that Robert.
So you're
Louis
going
is
to take
se-
one Hobbit off your rating?
No, I'm
Okay.
I'm double rated.
No.
But no, I do kind of. I'm gonna put my peepers on that Wikipedia page. Read about
Yeah,
some.
definitely some cool stuff. Hold
Robert-
on just a second, and I will read the inscription on his tombstone. Pretty damn cool. Under the wide and starry sky, dig the grave and let me die. Glad did I live and gladly die, and I laid me down with a will. This be the verse you grave for me. Here he lies where he longed to be. Home is the sailor, home from sea, and the hunter home from the hill. And that's it.
Is that something that he wrote, or that the Samoans wrote for him?
It says Stevenson had always wanted his requiem inscribed on his tomb, so I assume he wrote it.
That's
his requiem.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Yeah, interesting character who wrote a very awesome, interesting book. And also, if you've never read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that's also his, and it is also awesome.
I didn't realize that was the same guy.
I did know that. Have you read that, Elijah?
Same guy. Yeah, I wrote papers on it in school.
Yeah, that's another one that slipped through my cracks.
I think we'll be revisiting old Mr. Stevenson, and you may lay to that.
I lay to that indeed, me hearty. Lover. All right, here's the conch, Dylan.
All right, thank you for this conch. So my pick for next week's book, The Subverter of the Medium Strikes Again. The book will be The Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Player's Handbook by Wizards of the Coast.
No, what? What is wrong with you? God, this... I don't want to play Dungeons & Dragons, dude.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I have the conch. It is a book.
How are we going to play Dungeons & Dragons when dude's in Austria? That's the thing.
It's very easily done. I'll make sure it's all set up.
Who's going to be the dungeon master?
I will be, since I am the conch holder, I will be the dungeon master.
This is a bad idea.
It'll be fine. It might be. It may very well be a bad idea.
Okay, whatever.
But I need you. I need you to buy in. I need both of you to buy in.
Okay.
All right, I'm in. I'll buy in.
I'm in. I'll do it. I don't know how to play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. Like
you've never played.
That's fine.
You've never played it.
Not really. No. I mean, I've been in the room when people have played it. See, I've only ever rolled like 6-sided dice or die.
They roll the same. It's dice.
See, I don't even know that. But okay, whatever.
It's fun. It's great. You just have to kind of get over yourself a little bit and just let yourself have fun with it.
Dungeons and Dragons is lame as shit, though, man.
No, see, that's the
lame.
What is and isn't lame is all like a social construct.
Okay,
that's lame, Dylan.
Like you're giving into your hipster.
Okay.
You're saying you're too cool for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm too cool for
I'm
Dungeons
not.
and
I love
Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I'd rather ride my
This bodes well
motorcycle
for me.
and play my drums.
You'd rather listen to AC/DC and
yes, absolutely. I'd
And maybe
rather
some
rob
Jimmy Buffett.
a liquor store.
It's fine. You'll enjoy it.
Okay, whatever.
You just have to get over it.
Ooh, I've already got my character name.
Well, let's hear it.
James Buffett.
Okay, I'm gonna have a good attitude.
See, it doesn't like when you say, "Okay, I'm gonna have a good attitude." That doesn't sound like you're gonna have a good
I'm gonna do my
attitude.
best. I think it's a bad idea. I didn't when we said, "Hey, let's do a book club podcast." I didn't know that it was like I didn't know that it would come to this, but okay, whatever.
Subverter of the
do it.
medium strikes
See-
again, as he said.
It's one. Yeah, it's one episode.
Okay.
That's all I'm asking for. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. It'll be funny. And if not, then yeah, it's just one episode.
I say
And we're
good.
done.
It's about time we have some more funny on this damn show.
all right.
Okay, I call Dragon though. I don't want to be the fucking dungeon.
Damn it. He always calls Dragon.
Okay, no, I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be awesome.
I appreciate your forced enthusiasm.
Dude, can't wait.
Really selling it there, Ansel. All right,
Okay.
cool.
Why don't you give that conch back before you do any more damage? roll a 3d5 and give the conch back.
Well, all right. You squandered another perfectly good modicum of time listening to us bullshit about a pirate book, some Kiss lyrics, and D&D, and some other media things. Don't forget to tune in when I have the conch again and we do another media minute so you can hear Ansel say,
Elijah's Media Minute.
There you go. Thanks.
Bye.
We love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time on Book Club, the podcast.
Goodbye.
Once, a gang of Vikings on a looting spree set out for treasure on the mighty sea. We want treasure. Then they found a scroll that showed the way to a secret tropical bay. To the Bookclub treasure. There, where X did mark the spot, the Vikings dug a lot. We love treasure. Down through a secret passageway, the greedy Vikings found a way to the Bookclub treasure. Skeleton, skeleton, don't touch the treasure, it'll lead to your doom. Skeleton, skeleton, now forevermore we gotta sing this skeleton. Now the Vikings stood on evil ground, where Voodoo Daddy laid his treasure down. It's gonna send treasure. A drum of magic gelatin, turning the Vikings into skeleton. I don't like this treasure. Skeleton, skeleton, don't touch the treasure, it'll lead you to. Skeleton, skeleton, now forevermore we gotta live in the gloom. Skeleton, skeleton, now forevermore we gotta sing this skeleton. So, Pirate Island came to be a rocky prison of the sea.